Alright, remember we had an assumed coordinate of 5,000 on our northing and 10,000 on our easting. We're just going to work with our northings first. I'm going to start with 5,000. I'm going to add or subtract, whichever the case may be, our corrected latitude to my initial coordinate. So if you will look from point 1, since we went on a 900347 bearing or azimuth, we went slightly south. So we're going to, from 5,000, we're going to go slightly south. So we're just going to follow our signs. We're going to go 0.2595 minus. So my northing on point 2 is 4999.7405. And I told you I was only going to go to the hundredth on these. Change my display to 2. I'm going to add 106.5715. Get a coordinate on point 3 of 5106.31. Going to add 88.3184. 5194.63. I'm going to add the 0.1070. Get a northing on point 45194.74. And then to make sure we check in and end where we started, I'm going to take our last corrected latitude of 194.7372, subtract that, and I got 5,000. So we have made full circle on our northings. We do the same thing with our eastings. Start with 10,000 and just add or subtract our corrected departure, 238.7776 plus. So we've got a 10,238.78, 0.0064 plus 10,238.78. Got a 130.8315 minus 10,107.95. 107.7454 minus 10,000, 0.21. To close it out, I'm going to 0.1988 minus. We've got our 10,000. One thing I forgot to mention is how to get our error of closure. If you remember, our error in our latitude was 0.01, and that was a negative. So here was our initial point and here was our closing point. Coming down, it was 100th south, if you will, and I'll exaggerate this a little bit. And our departure or easting was 400ths in a positive, so it was over here. And so we went 100th down and 400ths over. Alright, so I'm going to take the square root, a squared plus b squared. Alright, 0.01 squared, 0.04 squared plus, take the square root of that. I've got a hypotenuse of 400ths, or an error of closure. Change my display back. So we got a error of closure of 0.04. Well, to figure out if that is acceptable or not, we need to figure out what the precision is. So we're going to take that 400ths and divide it by our perimeter distance of 805.69. Invert the number, and I've got 5.69, 0.04 divide. Got 1 in 20,000. It's actually 20,142.25, but I'm just going to round it to 20,000. And this 1 in 20,000 is acceptable in almost any surveying. So make sure you calculate that. And I should have showed you how to get the error of closure and the precision before we even proceeded, because you cannot adjust something. If we would have had a foot or 2 foot of error, our precision would have been horrible. It would have been 1 in 800 or 1 in 400, which would have not been acceptable, so we could not continue our adjustment. So before you continue, after you get your departure, you have to determine your closure and your precision. If it is acceptable, then you can continue with your correction.